till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm gonna top them till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to THFC Till We Die. I'm Big James. Right next to me is my man Dermatron. Right below me is Big Steve. We are here for Before the Whistle. It is Aston Villa versus Tottenham, and we are pumped and we are cooking. So I would just like to say, welcome, guys. How are you both doing? Are you doing well? And has your day been good?
I don't know what you're pumped for, because I am. I don't know what you pumped. What you been taking? Give me some of what you've been taking, please.
It's game day. It is Spurs. It is game day. I don't care about where we are in the league. It is game day. I'm always fired up for Spurs on game day.
I'm fired up for Wednesday, but tonight's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm fine. I've just seen the lineup, so I've just actually got now left to me a line of whiskey, a bottle of vodka, a bottle of brandy, and a bottle of tequila, just to get me through the game after seeing that lineup. I'm fine. I'm fine. I've recovered from my journey back from England, apart from really buggering up my back. But apart from that, hey, I made it back out of England. They let me escape the asylum. I'm back. Below actually is Sensible Steve. He's the lads here did a fantastic job on Sunday. Fair play to you lads. God knows how you've gone through that game. I still don't know how I stayed awake through that match. I think I got good suntan. But big up to you, Steve. How are you?
I'm well, and I believe James and I ended up talking about something other than the game in the last 20 minutes of that match because the writing had been on the wall. But yeah, like James, I'm pumped. I'm pumped as well, too. I'm pumped to watch us get pumped 3 goose today. So that's going to be an interesting one today. No, but in all honesty, no, I'm absolutely fired up. I get it doesn't matter. Like James says, it doesn't matter where we're at in the standings. It doesn't matter. What matters is today's game day, and it's an opportunity for this club to take 3 points, and that's really only the thing that matters. It's an interesting lineup, I'll say that. I was a little surprised that certain guys were left home. Understandable, but that being said, I still thought for the sake of match sharpness and in continuity, I thought we would see some players today. But that being said, that's not the case. So it's an opportunity for Kinski to continue to develop. It's an opportunity for Danso to get more comfortable in this back four. An opportunity for Papsar to regain a little bit sharpness. And the question is who's going to be manning the 10 today? Is it going to be Mikey Moore? Is it going to be Sonny? I'm going to lead towards the experience. But that being said, who knows how this thing is going to play out? So there's a lot of intrigue. But that being said, my excitement will be absolutely at a fever pitch until about 10 minutes into this match when it starts playing out the way that I think all three of us think that this match is going to play out. And it is what it is. I think everybody is focused on the final. So I would like to think that this is not going to be an afterthought or a throwaway game. I want to see this team come out pumped. I want to see this team be on the front foot, and I want to see Villa get beat today. But it's a wait and see.
I look, for me, I'll let you carry on, James. But look, for me, seriously, though, I am seriously pumped. I am seriously pumped. I was only joking. Like, I'm seriously pumped. I'm looking forward to this game. I want a performance. I want a reaction from Sunday. That on Sunday.
I think we'll get one. I think we'll
Yeah.
get one.
I'm
And
saying to you two guys, right? That game on Sunday was horrific. Absolute.
Yeah.
No player left that pitch with the held head high. All of them were an embarrassment to wear that shirt. Sorry, James, I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. Sorry.
no, it's all good. I'm actually quite intrigued by this starting 11. To be fair, I agree with Steve. Kinski getting some more development time.
Mhm.
I think Spence needs this game to sort
Yes.
repair some of the damage that he did against Crystal Palace on Sunday. Danso and Davis, obviously, they're our backup centre backs. I think this is Reguilon's farewell.
I
Pat
think
Matasar and Archie Gray, absolutely, they need to get some understanding together. I'm going to go with Odegaard playing as the number 10. I think Odegaard will play number 10.
Ooh,
I think
that's interesting.
I think Mikey will go out on the left. I think Tell will be out on the right, and Sonny will be leading the line.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I don't know if that's thingy, but anyway, let's welcome him, guys. The chat. We've got David Clark in the house. Big up, David. He says, hi from Leicester. Just to give you a fact, did you know that the ref in the Europa League final was the VAR man that gave the penalty to Liverpool in the 29 Champions League final against Spurs? And there's my pumpness just gone completely out the window, Dave. Thanks very much.
I'm not even watching the game now. That's it. I'm done. I'm going down the pub Wednesday. That's it.
We've got Erwin who's saying, hi everyone, I hope you're all keeping well. Well, I know I'm keeping well. I know Dermo's keeping well and Steve's keeping well. Good evening.
Am I keeping well though?
I hope you and the missus and the little one are doing well, Owen. Hope the family's doing well, man.
And we've got Wayne Bonner in the house. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. 2-1 Spurs tonight. Oh, and come on, you Spurs. Absolutely, come on, you Spurs. And good evening to you, Mr. Bonner. I think that's a decent shout. 2-1 Spurs tonight.
Yeah,
I can see it happening. I can see it.
Take that.
I would take that every day of the week. And we've also got Mr. Philip Brady in the house. Saying Villa must be really looking forward to playing our reserves. Yeah, but they are. But I think they're going to be in for a shock. I think they are going to be in for a shock tonight.
Can I just let you turn the lads into something? I've been talking to Philip. He's saying a lot worse in the chats than I've been talking to him. Believe me. That's why I'm giggling, because I know what he's put in the private chat to me. Like,
by the way, man. Philip Brady is an absolute beauty. That was my thought exactly too. So big up to you, Mr. Brady.
Big up to you. Big up, Big up, Godfather.
So, what do you think of the lineup then, Dermo? Honest opinion.
Honest opinion. Look, it's a lineup I thought it'd be. I thought Kingsley deserved another go. I think he did well on Sunday against Palace. He kept us in it. To be fair, Jed Spence. I thought the back four. With the back four, I didn't expect Reguilon to start. That's a curveball. But I thought Jed Spence has to improve. I do know what? I thought Danso did all right on Sunday, him and Davis. I thought they weren't that bad as everyone made them out to be. The midfield, I don't think it's a midfield tree, you know. I think he might be going with a different formation altogether here.
Good.
What do you think? What do you think he's doing, man? A 4-2-2-2?
Yeah, maybe,
or maybe like a 4-4-2. As it pushes up, it's going to have kind of like a hybrid 10 / inside forward, almost like a false 9. Yeah, and that's the reason why I think it's potentially going to be Sonny, because he has that tendency to kind of play that inside forward type role, or they'll want to at least, and that's. I don't know, man. That's a very good question as far as formation goes.
Yeah. And also, I think Archie Gray needs to improve. He was woeful on Sunday as well. Archie Gray was dreadful. Odegaard tried, but I think he needs to. I don't know what you guys think. I think Odegaard needs to bulk up a bit in the summer, get a bit more muscly. I think he's a bit too, a little bit too easily to push off the ball, which the Palace fullback was doing quite regularly. Mikey Moore, look. Mikey Moore should have played a lot more games than he has this season. For me, I don't know what David thinks, but for me, there's a bit of. I said that, and Dave's. I got sort of lambasted for it, but I'll stand by what I said. There's a bit of Glenn Hoddle in them. There's a little bit of Tony Galvin in them. It just brings me back to the old days. Tell he's not a striker. He's more of a winger. This is where tonight I would have started Richie. I think Richie needs the minutes. But I said on Saturday with Dave that Kulu needed the minutes. And what happened? Kulu goes and gets injured within 10 minutes of the game starting. And also Sonny tonight. Sonny does play minutes, but play Sonny for 45 minutes and then take him off.
Sure.
But that's my opinion. It's the lineup we all expected, but it's a lineup I think that can do a job tonight. I think we can shock Villa up there. I really do.
Yeah.
We can dent their hopes, and that's what we need to do. Steve, what do you think? Sorry, James, go on.
No. Yep. You go ahead.
I think in some aspects you were right. I thought Kinski, Spence, Danso, and Davies were actually god awful in that first half. But I actually think they actually got I thought they got much better in the second half of that Palace game. And so I do agree with James right there that Jed Spence himself has an opportunity to put that Palace game behind him. Because if you remember that first half, that entire right wing was wide open for Palace that entire first half. And so this is an opportunity for Spence to right the wrongs. One of the things that I will say is that, I think all of this experience right now, all this game time for Archie Gray has made him a better player. And I do somewhat agree with you, Derma, that his last performance against Crystal Palace was something left to be desired. But that being said, you look at that young kid's football IQ, and especially when he was playing on that back line as the center back, when mistakes were made within minutes, those mistakes were corrected, and he put himself in a better situation. So I think his football IQ is at a level where it's just going to take continuous game time for him to be up to speed. And I think the more times that he plays, the better that he gets. And I think that's also the same with Baptiste Tell and Mikey Moore as well too. Especially with young players, the one thing that they absolutely need is continuous minutes in order for them, to take that next step. And in a lot of situations, especially for Archie Gray, those minutes have been far and few between, especially since a lot of these players came back from injury. But I do agree with you about Sonny, though. I do think this is a 45-minute and then sub off type of situation where I could possibly see, depending on where he's playing, that we possibly could see Richarlison for at least a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if we're looking at that team, that starting 11 there. Apart from Sonny, who is a starter for who's going to be starting on Wednesday? Because I see a sub bench and Sonny. So you're looking at. I mean, for me, my starting 11 for Wednesday is going to be obviously Big Vic in goal.
Yep.
Pedro, Romero, Van de Ven, Udogie on the left. Then you're going to be playing sort of Bentancur, Bissouma in the middle, with potentially Sonny playing as for number 10, with Solanke up front.
Brendan Johnson out
Johnson on the right, and then it's just sort of who do you play on the left? And I think maybe Tell might go out on the left on Wednesday.
Or Richarlison.
Richarlison, yeah.
I still think, right, and I stick by this, that Brendan Johnson could do a job at number 10. I know people laugh at me at this. I think he can.
No, I agree. I think he could do it, but do you think he's got the physical prowess to be able to hold that position? Or do you think it could go missing and then that's going to leave a void in the link-up play between the midfield and the attack? That's my only concern.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you look, I think the midfield trio on Wednesday will be Bentancur, Sarr and Bissouma. I think that will be a midfield trio. I really do. Bergville may be on the bench because he's fighting to get back fit for the game. So he may be a surprise. It's going to be a lot of unknowns, but this is the Villa lineup. Sorry.
Did you watch the Postecoglou press conference regarding this
I
for the
did.
match, tonight's
I
match?
did.
Because
I did.
he categorically ruled Bergvall out for from the
For,
final.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, but that could also be another ruse.
Red herring. Yeah, it could
Red
be.
herring.
Could be. Yeah.
He also mentioned the idea of Pedro Porro being in the midfield as well too, moving him up the pitch with Solanke moving down into that 10 position as well too. So Postecoglou was not ruling out anything as far as formation wise. So Brendan, the idea of Brendan Johnson in that position, Dermot, is not a bad idea.
Johnson's job at number 10 was why was that Glenn Starmer resigned? Has Starmer resigned? Has the British Prime Minister resigned? Has he?
No. He's saying that Johnson a job at number 10. Why has that clown Starmer resigned? He's saying
I get.
He's basically saying why has he's giving him the Prime Minister's job at number 10 because Starmer.
Yeah.
Well, I can only hope he's quit.
But right, this is the Villa lineup. We're going with Martinez and goal, the Argentinian. We've got Matty Cash. Please just break your leg, Matty Cash, or just fall over, break your nose. I cannot stand you. Nor does Philip Brady, don't like him either. We've got Consunia, we've got Pooh, we've got Mattison, we've got McGinn, we've got Kamara, we've got Onana, not that Onana, their Onana. We've got Assassino, Rodgers, and Watkins. That's a very strong Villa side, isn't it, guys?
That's probably one of their strongest teams they've put out.
Yeah.
And you've got to understand why they've put that strong team out.
Yeah.
Because they win tonight, and there is a good chance that they're going to get Champions League qualification again next year.
Correct.
Philip, stop being sarcastic. Be nice in the chat. Stop being sarcastic, all right? He's saying, I wonder which Spurs player will Matty Cash cripple tonight. He's not crippling anyone. Stop being sarcastic. It ain't going to happen.
That's crazy. Mr. Philip Brady, you're such a beauty.
Big up to Daniel. It says, big up. That's the peak lineup. We're going to get battered. United have gone full strength tonight. So there's looking. Yeah, I want to ask you guys, that was a question. I've just seen somebody's putting up in the group chat, why not reel out King and Dawson for tonight's game?
Why not? King could give you 40 minutes.
Yeah. What do you think of United going full strength and we're not going full strength? Do you think this is a master plan by Ange?
I think it shows desperation from Amorim to get points on the board so he don't get sacked.
That's a good point.
Because there is been talk. I know we said it in I think it was in mine and Steve's post match or pre match on Crystal Palace that there hasn't been much talk about Ruben Amorim's position, but I think it was either today or yesterday. I did see an article where Ruben Amorim, I think it was even on the back of the papers, it came up with either back me or sack me. So he's obviously, to me, that's an unhappy manager. If a manager is coming out and saying either back me or sack me, he's at the end of his tether.
Yeah.
Well, it was also, but wasn't it also Ruben Amorim who about a month ago said that this was the worst Manchester United team in the last 30 years or so?
Yeah.
And that's somebody that was, it's interesting, right? We call that the bait and switch, right? Where somebody is sold something as far as the history of the club or how the current setup and structure is strong, and then he gets through the door and realizes that it's an absolute lemon. But that being said, it's like.
Sorry, Steve. They just brought up the lineup, the formation. It is a 4-2-3-1. Odegaard's playing the number 10 role. With Mikey Moore and Sonny on the wing and Tell up front. That's interesting.
So tell Mikey on the right, then I take it.
Mikey on the right, Sonny on the left, Odegaard in the number 10 role, with Gray and Sarr as probably two DMs, and Matthias Tell up front. Sorry, Steve, but that just come up. I thought you guys might want to know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is. I did think if we've seen Odegaard and Mikey Moore and Sonny and Tell, it was the only logical choice out of the four of them for Odegaard, because he has played as a number 10 before. He didn't do particularly well, but he has played as a number 10 before. But I can see probably see Sonny maybe getting 45, Johnson and Richie coming on for him, and I could probably see Mikey maybe getting an hour, and then Johnson coming on for Mikey. So Johnson gets a few minutes in his legs before the final.
And then just a sub. Do you want to read that subs bench there, James? There.
Yeah. So on the bench for Tottenham tonight, we've got Vicario, Pedro Porro, Yves Bissouma, Dante Casanova, Rodrigo Bentancur, Ulesi, Johnson, Richarlison, and Solanke. So a good couple of youngsters on the bench there as well, which I'm pleased to see. And for me, I would have started playing these sort of younger players 3 games ago. Once relegation was mathematically impossible for us to achieve, I would have preferred him to have played some of these youngsters 3 games ago. I do apologise, by the way. I am trying to eat and do this as well. So if people see me munching, I apologise. It's just pizza. It's game night. It's pizza night.
I got a question for you two guys, right? Tottenham have not won in their last 5 games in the Premier League. 4-2 defeat against Wolves, 2-1 against Forest, 5-1 defeat against Liverpool, 1-1 draw against West Ham, and of course the 2-0 defeat at the weekend against Crystal Palace. How does this work into confidence for this Europa League final? That we've only had 1 win in our last 10, and that win is against Southampton. We suffered the worst defeats ever in the Premier League season. Even Ange has beaten the great Aussie idealist as our worst ever Premier League manager. Where can we find any confidence that we can go and win the Europa League and then the last 2 seasons with wins? I mean, Steve, and then we go to you, James. Where can we find the confidence in this team to give us any happiness at all?
Well, I think the results in the Europa League stand for itself. Even in the midst of some of these humiliating losses, we were still able to go. We were still able to come back against AZ Alkmaar in the round of 16, come back home and dust them off 3-1. We go to Frankfurt, have a little bit of a chippy first leg, but still able to go back on their field and come away with a very good performance. Still in the midst of bad league losses, excuse me. And then against Bodo Glimt, again, sandwiched between 5 straight, basically 5 straight poor performances in the Premier League, and yet they were still able to go to Bodo and still handle their business. I think a lot of this, for at least the last couple of months, there was the understanding that, the Europa League was still their last ability to win a trophy. And I think that they've have prioritized Europa League. And again, I don't want to question this team's heart when it comes to the Premier League. But that being said, I don't necessarily think that they have. I want to word this correctly because I don't want to be disrespectful to some of these players. But I think really their heart and their effort and their performance has been geared towards this. So when it comes to the Europa League final, I don't think any of these results in the Premier League are going to have any effect on that starting 11 once they take the field. They're 90 minutes away from that trophy, and I think they're hungry for that trophy just as much as we're hungry for that trophy.
James, what do you reckon?
I pretty much exactly. Steve summed it up perfectly. I think if we're gonna look at anything, we look at how well we played. The home leg against Frankfurt was a little bit squiffy, we'll say. But going to probably one of the strongest home form German teams and getting a result there, we should take confidence from that. Yeah. The Bodo game speaks for itself. 3-1 at home. It should have been 3-0 to be fair, but 3-1, we take it. There's all the hype about the pitch and they're going to tear us and we're going to crumble and Spurs' press is this and that and we're we're no better than a mid-table Norwegian team, and we got there and we bossed them. We bossed them in their home ground. We made playing on that pitch look like we do it week in, week out, and I were really impressed by that game. So I think that's where we should take our confidence, and I think the players will look to say, look, we have got to a European final. We are 90 minutes away from getting our hands on this trophy. We're 90 minutes away from breaking the stigma of Spurs always bottle it. We're 90 minutes away from immortality in Spurs fans' eyes. And I think it's they are, like Steve says, they are very hungry for it.
Yeah.
But just before, because obviously we're like 12 minutes away from kickoff. Dermo, I understand you have some breaking news for us.
Yeah, but you got to do this from first. This is something we do. I don't know if either you. So one of you. Yeah.
Call it, Dermo. What's the score going to be, my friend?
2-1 Tottenham.
Steve?
1-1 draw.
James?
Okay. I am going to speak the complete delusional one out of the team of us. I am going to go 3-1 Spurs. With Aston Villa scoring first.
I can't have you outdoing me. I'm going for 4-1 then. I can't have you outdoing me. No way. Yeah, I do have a bit of breaking news. I'm still waiting for it to, get a ravel. But Tottenham will have a new manager by early June. There is names in the hat. Now, you hear this as well, so maybe you can help me out with this, James, because my memory hasn't been the greatest. Xavi. Sorry, my memory's crap.
It's all right. So we've got basically there's four managers.
Yeah.
That within the touching distance, and the discussions have been held with each one of these managers, representatives, and it's in the early stages of formal discussions. That is, so we'll go.
Formal discussions has happened with one manager.
Yes.
For what we know.
So Xavi, I'm not saying Xavi is the one, but formal discussions have been had. But Xavi is up there. Inzaghi is up there. Glasner is up there, and he is the bookies' favourite to take over the Spurs position. And I can never pronounce his first name, but it's Ivan Terzic.
Yeah.
The Dortmund manager. They are the four names that the club want to get. But one of those four managers will be installed as our new manager early June.
Yeah.
Now, what is this I hear about Marco Silva of Fulham? Because he turned down the Saudi Arabian money, and word was that there are strong ties, strong links to the Tottenham Hotspur as well too. So,
he's not going to Tottenham. He's not going to Tottenham.
He won't do it.
No, he won't do it. He won't do it. He won't do it because he went through all that crap when we left Watford, I think, to go to Everton. And there was a lot of stigma to that, and he's not going to go to that guy. But guys, I'm going to jump off. I'm going to let you finish up before the whistle. I'm going to go and get the watch along started. So I'll see Steve. I'll see you over there, Steve-O. And then James, I will see you for final score. Half-time.
I'll jump on at half-time.
Yeah.
I'll jump on at half-time, and then I'll see you at full time.
Full time. And then we'll do final score, guys. So, guys, I'm now going to get the watch along ready. And then I see you over there, Steve and James. I'll speak to you at half-time. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
In the Cannon Monster. No, don't stop saying that. It sounds so rude. Because you could
the
say
big cockerel we trust?
I was going to say the big cock we trust, but the big cockerel, if you want to go down that road, that's fine. On that bombshell, I'm definitely going.
The big cockerel.
Yeah, I know what you. See you in a minute.
The insanely huge cock roll.
Yeah.
It's the insanity of that cock roll.
Oh.
That big blue veiny cock roll.
On that bombshell, I'm definitely going. See you in there, lads.
See you in a bit, Demo. Oh dear.
Oh hell.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I've just completely lost it now, Steve. I'm like, my mind's got a bit of a.
Yeah, I took it. Yeah, that's the thing. There's Dermo and his big, his big cock again. Yeah, you were saying Javi.
Yeah, so Wayne Bonner says here.
Yeah.
When Bonner says screw the rest, Xavi is. I agree. I think he's the perfect choice for us because you look at the other three managers, and I'll ask your quick opinion on this. You look at the other three managers that are in that list. Every single one of them, they're going to have to pay some kind of compensation to get. Glasner, Inzaghi,
Yep.
Terzic, all currently in jobs. They're all going to require some kind of compensation payment.
Right.
They're also then going to have to pay Postecoglou out of his contract.
Correct.
If they sack him, they're going to pay him off. So
yeah, he's got one more.
At that point, you could be talking maybe anywhere between 8 to 10 million just to get rid of a manager and hire a manager, which is a bit ridiculous when you could maybe pay 3 million to Postecoglou, but then bring Xavi in on the free. So, and I agree. I agree with what Wayne. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was going to say, and I also think it's also important to remember that that money comes out of our transfer budget as well too. There's no separate pot earmarked for your manager. But that being said, let me ask you a question when it comes to Xavi. Do you have any reservations of the fact that he's never coached in England before or in the Premier League? See, that's the thing. It's like with Oliver Glasner, at least he's got that experience at Crystal Palace. And he knows exactly the ins and outs of the Premier League. He knows how to prepare for the Premier League. And so there is that level of comfort versus Inzaghi, versus Xavi, versus Terzic. That being said, I don't necessarily dislike the appointment of Xavi. I'm just curious about, is that something that you think about while the appointment of Xavi happens? Is there a little concern of the fact that he's going to be new to the Premier League himself?
That is always a concern when you bring a manager from abroad. But the way I look at it is, you look at his first steps into management, he was an absolute success. He then moves to Barcelona, and he was again a success. And I think the reason why he left Barcelona was issues in the background. Barcelona will come out and say it was poor showings in cups and for Champions Leagues and things like that, and that's the reason why.
And it was because Hansi Flick was available. Let's just keep it real there. That being said, I do think that Xavi is probably at the top of the list because he is a free agent, right? There is no release clause that you have to trigger. And I would probably assume that the payout for Ange Postecoglou is going to be less than $5 million, and I would assume that the compensation for Xavi is not going to be through the roof either. And so it's the path of least resistance, and you get a coach in who is going to set the tempo from day one. And this is what's needed for Tottenham Hotspur. And this is no disrespect to Ange Postecoglou, but the fact remains that you're okay with the performances that we have. There is no set level of performance that is, and again, maybe there is, and maybe they're just letting him down. But the reality is there is going to be an expectation level that you're not going to treat Premier League games, even in a season like this, you're not going to treat them like friendlies. You are either going to play, or I'm going to play somebody right behind you that is willing to step up and play hard in your position. And so that's what I'm looking forward to, is having somebody that's coming in and who's going to be like, no. We do not act this way. You do not represent the club in this type of fashion. You do not disrespect the fan base with these type of performances. And if you're not going to play hard, the next guy up who's behind you is going to step in. He's going to play hard. That is what I'm looking forward to with Xavi. But, we know that he's got Champions League experience, obviously. But the question is he able to step in, set the tone from day one, and get these players understanding that it's either you play hard or you're not going to play at all.
I think he's got that in him. I think he's got it in him, and I think he's good with the younger players as well. Because you look at what he did with Barcelona and the younger players he brought on. Look, I am very conscious of time, Steve. There's like 2 minutes to kick off. I understand. I know you need to get ready for a thingy, so we're going to call it there. Just dead quick. Boris does say Terzic left Dortmund last year after bottling the league and losing the Champions League final, so he's got no. I thought he was still there for some reason. I didn't realise he'd left. So we don't have to pay any kind of compensation to Dortmund either. So that sort of opens that door a little bit. But I think Xavi would be, for me, I think Xavi is the closest fit to Spurs' DNA of attacking, young attacking players going further forward.
Do we have the players in place? I know we're up against it. This is my last question to you. If that is the level of expectation that Xavi brings through the door, do we have the players that are going to buy in? Do we have the right group of players that will 100% buy in?
I think 60% of the squad would buy into it, and the other 40% are either already out the door or will basically he'll pull them into line. And if he doesn't pull them into line, then they'll be just basically sat in the reserves, not playing. And I think that's thingy. But look, I will let you go get ready for the watch along, guys. Please join Dermo and Steve on the watch along. Please hit your like and subscribes on YouTube. Please join us along on the watch along. I will be joining them at half time, giving my first half thoughts. Thanks very much for joining us, and enjoy the game, guys.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you